Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. This episode starts off with Cheyenne, who is going to wine country. No, not another one of her parties, but the area in California where middle-aged white women go to taste wine. The pretense of the trip is to go so that Matt can get some alone time with her and Ryder, though I'm sure he was under the impression that it was just alone time with just him and her, because who would take a 2-year-old to a winery? Well, Cheyenne would. Ryder naps on the way there, but she's simply conserving energy to have a complete screaming freakout once they get there, which is exactly what she does. Yeah, this was a great idea, Cheyenne. This is gonna be fun. Brandon and Teresa, Carly's adoptive parents, are still ignoring Kate and Tyler, which in my opinion is super immature. If you're going to tell them no, just say no and stop giving them anxiety over it. These are grown adults who think that ghosting is a rational way to solve problems and communicate. Tyler, Kate, and Kate's dad are all trying to not stir the pot and are walking on eggshells, but they're all clearly annoyed by the situation. Tyler says him and Kate deserve their emotions, and he implies that Brandon and Teresa feel threatened by something exterior. Something exterior being Tyler, I guess. Mackenzie McKee gives an update that she has forgiven Josh. 3 kids with the guy and he doesn't have a real job, so he's home most of the time. You're kinda stuck with him. Might as well forgive him so you have someone to talk to. The producer throws some serious shade at Mackenzie. She flat out asks her, how come you make eggs for yourself while your kids are eating pizza? But Mackenzie hasn't been on this show long enough to where she can fight with the producers and get away with it yet, so she ignores the obvious bad mom call out and just says, oh, she's prepping for a fitness competition. Screw her kids' health though, they can eat that greasy Domino's for all she cares. She wants to work out, but Josh needs to watch the kids while she does it, and he's been helping his friend do yard work for hours now and isn't answering his phone. When he finally does answer, she complains that there's no way she's going to take care of these 3 kids all day by herself. And there we have it, the only reason that Mackenzie is still with Josh. Free childcare. Amber complains that she went from sleeping all night, all day, to not sleeping at all. Because of the weather in Indiana, she implies that she suffers from seasonal depression. She really wants to move to California where it's sunny all the time, but she says she can't because she won't see Leah. I don't know what she's complaining about, it's not like she sees Leah anyway. Brandon and Teresa finally accidentally answered one of Kate's phone calls, and now they're actually gonna let them see Carly. They're coming to Michigan in just a few short days. Kate and Tyler take Nova out to tell her about it, but again, she doesn't really get what's going on. But again, they give her food to keep her happy throughout the conversation. Cheyenne is starting to realize what a terrible idea it was to take a toddler to wine country. Her and Matt try taking her to an ostrich farm to wear her out, but it only seems to energize her even more. They go to drink wine, not exactly an enjoyable activity for a child, and since she gave Ryder nothing to do in the meantime, not even an iPad, she screams and runs around the facility causing a terror. They're alone in the place, probably because they're filming there and they rented the place out to film, but believe me, if the middle-aged white people were there right now, they'd be calling out that manager real quick to get Cheyenne kicked out. Matt is obviously annoyed. He looks like he wants to feed Ryder to the ostriches, and says this was a mistake, and asks if it cured Cheyenne's baby fever. She plays dumb to his obvious signs that he's not enjoying this. She's like, what? It's not the same thing, babe. Babies can't run around yet like she's doing. Macy drags Taylor to the doctor to talk about vasectomy. The doctor says it's easier than the female surgery equivalent, but it takes longer to start working. But since Taylor wants more kids once the younger 2 get older, it's kind of a fruitless conversation. Mackenzie confronts Josh when he gets home on his not answering the phone. He closes the car door in her face while she's talking to him. She calls him a dick, which her kid Bronx hears and repeats. Then she goes up to him again saying, you can't ignore me, and he then proceeds to drive away from her. It was pretty funny. She tells the camera she's paid for Josh's entry fees in his truck, the door of which he just slammed in her face, and she's sick of it and she doesn't want to be with Josh anymore. Bless his heart, Matt is really trying, but Ryder is just not warming up to him. He attempts to be friendly with her and she hits him with silverware and generally rejects him. What was that Cheyenne's sister said again? They're not baggage, they're blessings. Well, Cheyenne asked Matt how he thinks he's doing with her little blessing, and he's fed up to the point that he says really harshly, well, what do you think? He admits that he's overwhelmed, but he thinks he'll be a vet at some point. At first I thought he was implying like Ryder's an animal, but I think he meant like a veteran at this. First one works too though. He says he wants kids around age 30 or early 30s like most normal people. Cheyenne basically says she always wanted a kid once Ryder turned 2, no matter who the dad or the sperm donor was. Matt is obviously pretty offended at that. He makes like a face and curses and they bleeped it out. Obviously mad, but she again just kind of glosses over and ignores his reaction like it didn't matter to her. These two are so weird. Like, how have they not had these discussions before? They're not agreeing on, like, major life changes. They seem so opposite and like they don't actually like each other at all, and that Cheyenne is probably using him to make Corey jealous. Alarm bells go off yet again. Cheyenne says, if God wants to make evil plans and give me a kid, I'll take it. Watch out, Matt, we got a condom hole poker here. Amber has been feeling depressed lately and wants to see a psychiatrist. She says she wishes people saw her as dainty. Andrew is nothing but supportive, but she freaks out on him very undaintily. Every single thing Andrew says, Amber flips out and starts a fight, and it's exhausting just watching it. I can't imagine being in that situation. Caitlin and Tyler's moms are also allowed to come to the Carly visit. They're going to the park. Kate got a lot of anxiety with this in the last time seeing her two kids together without them actually being able to live together, so she hopes that she's okay this time. Mackenzie and Ryan are on the beach, I guess on their honeymoon. Ryan is glad their relationship is good enough for them to go on vacation together without killing each other. They talk about maybe having more kids. Ryan says accidents happen. Well, an accident on his part at least already happened because she's already pregnant by this point. Macy and Taylor leave the appointment. Macy asks if they're going to address the big deal of a fact that they have completely opposite opinions on having more kids, which is more than Cheyenne at least has managed to do, but they still take no action on it. Josh texted Mackenzie to apologize, and now he meets her at the shed/gym to apologize in person. He says he wasn't worried about his phone because he had a chainsaw in his hand, which he probably wanted to take to the phone once he saw her 400 missed calls. Mackenzie blames her attitude on being on her period and not having chocolate. She's starting to sound like a 2010 Facebook meme. Eventually, they both just laugh it off and join hands and agree to not kill each other for the rest of the day. Amber gets to the psychiatrist and declares the couch there as her favorite couch. Her sunken-in couch at home probably cried upon seeing this. Amber shows a surprising amount of self-awareness at the therapy session. She knows that she's combative for no reason and she should be grateful for Andrew. She says it would be horrible if she sabotaged their relationship and she wishes she didn't get triggered so easily. Yeah. Kind of sad to see because it's moments like these that make me think that sometimes, just sometimes, she really does try to fix herself. And that's about all for this episode of Teen Mom OG. Do you think that Kate and Tyler's behavior scares off Brandon and Teresa and that's why they ignore him? Do you think Mackenzie and Josh secretly hate each other, or not so secretly? And do you think Amber actually wants to change? Make sure to like this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.